What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and this is the NHL Franchise Mode series with the Nebraska Bucks, as we are about to get underway here for another season with the Bucks as we look to go back to the Stanley Cup and this time actually win it. If you guys did actually miss the last episode, I'll drop a card in the top right-hand corner so you guys can catch that out, and so you are all up to date to see how exactly we got to this point in the off-season. I won't spoil anything, so go check that out and see what happened in the last episode with everything with building the team here for this upcoming season. We did make some awesome trades. We traded for the first overall pick and everything, and we've ended up making some moves, making some trades, and we've ended up here with this. And again, our first pick here in the draft, first round overall, Matthew Perez. He is a sniper. He does fit best on the first line. Again, we could get the +2 or +1 with him up there, but I would rather have him on that third line to see how things go with him. Our left wing position is absolutely stacked here with Janssen, Vasalainen, and Sprong. Right wing, Ledeker, Volchenkov, Tippett, and then we've got Milroy, Roslovic, and Kuznetsov there on that bottom pair. And then on the back end, still same first pair, Sandin, Tavares, same second pair, or Lautner and Sandin. Then we got Tinkonoff and Tavares. Then we got Julian and Rudder. So pretty much the same when it comes across the board there. Scratched players, we've got Lockhart and Kraus, which is interesting to see there. And then between the pipes as well, we've got Carter Hart and Tucker Tynan still. And on the power play, I want to check out the power play. We get the +3 and +1 still, which I am perfectly fine with. So we will roll with that to start off this season. It'll be interesting to see how we do here in the preseason. Always interesting to see how the squad does. So let's hop into it here and see how we do this preseason. Again, we always simulate up to that last game to see stats and who's playing well and who is not. I'm going to be really intrigued to see what we can do as we get the first win there. Second game, we win 7-0. Third game is a loss against the Stars. We come back against the Wild and win. Nashville is a win. Shootout loss to the Blackhawks as we're 4-1-1 in the preseason heading into the last game. And Tippett leading the way in points. Again, I want to take a look and see how the squad is playing, because you'll be able to get an early look at who is working and who isn't. And I'm quite intrigued to see where our boy Perez is. He's got 1 goal, and that is it. So that's, I wouldn't say alarming, but it is very interesting for sure. Goaltenders, Hart's played all the games, and he's put up decent stats, so not worried about that at all. Tippett, obviously he's playing for a big contract year, so that'll be interesting. As we've got a game here against the undefeated Avalanche, and that game is going to be a shootout win. So that's huge heading into the regular season here, guys. Opening up at home against the Phoenix or Arizona Coyotes, I should say. So we'll simulate through the first month of the year to see how things go. It'll be interesting to see what we can get together here this season. I know last year we started off pretty strong, and hopefully we're looking for the same as we start off with a 3-1 win. Game here against Vegas is going to be away, and that is going to be a 4-1 win. Big game against Carolina. They are always a tough team. We got a 4-3 win. Capitals 5-3 loss. Vancouver is a 4-3 loss in overtime, so we at least get a point out of that game. So we get into St. Louis and walk out of there with a 4-3 loss before coming home against Nashville, beating them 4-2, and then away in Detroit as Janssen actually picks up an injury, and he's going to be out until November. That's a tough loss there for sure, and we might be able to move some things around. So let's move. I want to move Sprong up. He still gets the +3, so that's honestly okay. And then if we throw Kraus here on the third line, that actually does work. And we'll leave him there. So that again, that works. Power play slot is empty there, which we will need to fill. Let's throw in our boy Julian there on the power play to get that +1. And then 4-man power play, we'll throw Julian. Actually, no, we'll throw in Sandin on that power play. And then for extras, we just have to fill in 3-on-3. Perez is out there for one of them. And let's throw our boy Daniel Sprong in here. Or Ledeker. Let's throw Ledeker in there, see what he can do on the 3-on-3. And that's the lines right now. What I do want to take a look, though, as we get a win there against the Red Wings 5-2. Yeah, that was 4-2 actually. Tippett leading the way in points. Let's take a look at AHL 6-2. Chad Argon leading the way. He's got 11 assists, which is crazy to see. There is one player I might think about bringing up, and that is this Downing guy. 81 overall. He is 22 years old. Elite low potential. I low-key want to bring him up and see what he can do. What is he? He's a playmaker. So let's actually go to roster moves, guys. We're going to call him up. We got a lot of... We actually have one space as well that we can call up. So let's call up Downing, and then we'll go back to the edit lines page here for the AHL and move some things around again. Moving him up. We're going to move Calder up the lineup. Doesn't get any pluses there on that line. Sesteto, he is a grinder. We'll throw him in, and he doesn't really work at all. So let's work him back out of the lineup. Is there anybody else? Jorgensen, he is a grinder as well, but does he fit is the real question, and he doesn't. So are there any centermen we can throw in there? We can throw Cage Quick, and that will work there. Let's see here. Clapperton and Drysdale top pair. They get the +3, and that is perfect. That is what we want. Let's go back here. Starting lineup offense. Let's move Kuznetsov off that line, and we'll throw in Downing, playmaker. He gets the +3 on that bottom pair. He actually gets the +3 on line 3, which is really nice. And even if we had to move him around the lineup, we could. So Urza Downing, we're going to see what he can do. 81 on that third line, gets the +3. That's actually really nice for Perez, getting that up to an 84, which is going to be huge. So really happy we made that call up. Again, depending on injuries and everything, we'll see how everything goes. And we know he's going to get the +3 on that bottom pair once we get Janssen back in the lineup. So that's huge. We can get a lot of pluses here on the squads as we get a loss there against the Avalanche, a loss against the Edmonton Oilers, and a shootout loss against the Wild. So we're struggling a little bit here starting off November. We get a trade offer here for Zach, a second and third round pick. I don't want to give that up for next year as we come back. We bounce back with 2 wins there against Montreal and Tampa Bay to get us back in the winning ways. We've got a back-to-back here with Boston and Chicago, and we come out with a 7-1 win and a 5-4 overtime loss, so we at least get points out of that. Ken Dodge is on waivers. Let's take a look at our boy Kenny Dodge. 25 years old, 78 overall. 1 year left. 2-way deal. All forward lines fit. That is a deal. We're taking him on. And what I actually want to do is I want to stop the simulation here and actually throw him in the lines at the AHL level. That is actually big time stuff. Let's get him in there. Dodgy's also a sniper. That's actually really nice stuff. Let's get him on that top pair. Does he work on the top pair? He doesn't. Man, we're gonna have to keep him on that third pair. He is top 6 forward, medium potential, so that will be interesting to see as we'll continue on with the simulation. Janssen is back, but we're going to continue on with him chilling on the bench as we get 2 wins there, and then we end up losing against the Jets, who are doing a little bit better this year for themselves. We come back with a shootout loss. Tikhonov is going to be injured till December. That is a tough go right there. So we're going to be down. Do we have any scratch defensemen? We do not. So we're going to have to call somebody up here. Man, that's tough. Let's go. Man, Rudder's up to an 83 as well, which is really nice. So let's throw in Lockhart here just for a brief second. And then let's actually go to roster moves. And this is the big question, guys. Who do we call up for defense is the real question. Do we call up Clapperton, or are we calling up Drysdale? That is a tough one. I know Clapperton's a 2-way player, so I'd rather give him a call up and get him some playing time. So let's go back to edit lines, auto-fix roster, and then let's take a look. Whoa, why did it... I just messed with the lines, guys. I don't know what just happened, but give me just a second. Alright, so we were able to fix everything here, and we actually have gotten him moved around with Sprong back in the lineup. He's actually an 87, so we're going to move him up the lineup as opposed to Janssen and play him on that second line there with Suzuki and Volchenkov. Then we've got Downing, Roslovic, and Milroy there down on the fourth line. So we've moved Kuznetsov actually down to the AHL. And what I do also want to take a look at are scratched players here at the AHL now is still Lockhart and Kraus. So we'll roll with that here for now. So we've got a game against the Ducks. We win 4-2. And Tikhonov is able to play in the next game, but we'll give him a little bit more time to heal up. So we absolutely pump the New York Rangers, and we'll simulate up here to the game against the Sharks against Ottawa. And they're a tough team this year, which will be interesting. We beat them 2-1, so that's a good game. The Wild lead the division right now, which is definitely interesting. Volchenkov leading the way in points. We're sitting there 32 points as we get into this last month of the simulation. 32 points in 23 games played, which isn't terrible. We haven't had a lot of injuries so far this year, which is good. Again, cross your fingers that we didn't just jinx it. But Clapperton, he's been playing pretty well for the couple of games he has gotten in, but we got to get our boy Tikhonov back in, and Rutter's up to an 83, which is very interesting. So all of our defense are at least elite. Jackson Tavares is elite. Got a top 4 in Sandin, but he's playing well above that, and then we've got an elite medium there with Lautner. So defensive core really rocking. They're playing great. Vasalainen is having a down year. He's only got 1 goal. Maybe we switch things up. I don't know about moving Byfield off that top pair. He's got 7 and 7. Suzuki, I mean, he's gotten 39 points right now, which isn't terrible. He's playing pretty good, or 29 points. I apologize for the bad math there, but we've got a big month of December here. We need to make sure we get things going in the right direction, setting up for a solid second half of the season. So we'll get through the rest of this month, hopefully unscathed with injury. So we start off with a 4-1 win there against the Sharks. Game against the Devils, they're also having a strong year. We beat them 7-4. Buffalo having an okay year. We beat them 5-2. Panthers having a decent year so far, and we beat them 8-5. So we're on quite of a winning streak there as we get it snapped by the Flames, and we get back to winning ways there actually against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So 19-6-4. Can we get our 20th of the season? We do in the shootout, and we also follow that up with a 5-2 win there against the Kings. We come back against the Coyotes away. We lose 3-1 in the desert. So we've got a few more games here. Oh, Suzuki, he's not going to be out for too long. So that is honestly not too bad of an injury. We can move some things around, maybe move Perez up the lineup. Actually, I want to give Lockhart a try here. He does get the +3. Does he get a +3 anywhere else is the real question. Gets it over Roslovic, and we'd rather have Roslovic move up the lineup, move him down there. We'll give Perez a shot there at the top line as Lockhart gets the +3 on the bottom pair, as Suzuki will be out until the next episode. But we come back 4-1 there. Argon out for the AHL. Big game there against the Hurricanes. We lose 5-2. Argon is back. But we've got a few games here to end the month. One against Vancouver. One against the Caps. We beat the Caps 2-0. Byfield's going to be out until March. Oh, that's a tough way to end this episode. Byfield out until March. Hopefully we'll be able to keep things going here. Scratch players. We're going to have to throw Kraus in and move some things around. We'll throw Perez on the top line. Throw him over there. Oh, man. Does anybody play center? Downing? No. Man, we're going to have to throw Kraus in at center. That is tough here. And hopefully we get Suzuki back, but we win 8-1 against the Canucks, so we're 24-8-4. Still second place in the division, which is definitely always tough here, the Central Division. 48 points there for Volchenkov. We'll check those out in just a second. 52 points. We're tied with the Wild, and they have one less game played. 52, and it looks like that's basically the battle for the President's Trophy right now is between us and the Wild. Flyers, Panthers, and the Canucks all leading the way in their respective divisions. Let's take a look at team stats halfway through the season. It is going to be interesting to see. We've got Volchenkov, Tippett, Suzuki, so top players doing top things. Ledeker here, Dennis Ledeker. We got him off of waivers, I believe. I don't really remember where we got him. It might have been waivers. Vassilainen having a down year. Sprong having a solid year. This Downing kid, 28 games played, 25 points. That's solid stuff for a rookie. I'm really happy with that. Byfield, not so great. Sandin playing very well. Perez playing very well in his first year in the NHL. Let's take a look at goaltenders. I'm really excited to see what we've got for goalies. Carter Hart, another great year so far. Even the time Tucker's come in, he's also played well. So he is on pace for another possible Vezina. Let's take a look at all forwards. Who's leading the way in points? Our top guy is 48 points with Volchenkov. And the top point getter is this Prusik guy for the Minnesota Wild, 59 points. And then Volchenkov is also in the battle. So they've got Shaw and this Prusik guy. He's 92. Shaw is 86. So that's probably going to be their top line, and they are buzzing. So that'll be a really tough out if we meet them in the playoffs for sure. Man, so far this team is playing great. What I actually do want to take a look at is the draft class. Always good to take a look and see what we've got. After our scouts, we've got a couple guys here. This Simon Digerons. We're not really going to go for him two-way forward. Lacks size. Patrick Kane. This guy, Menaki Hadar, power forward, no weaknesses, all A's except defense. Olin Nolan, right winger, 6'1", 197, that's really nice. Two-way defenseman, two-way forward. We got a playmaker here down at pick number 5, which Sean Monahan, that could be interesting. But this Hadar guy would be a good snipe. Let's see if there's any gems right now that we've found. And there are none quite yet. So we'll get more of that as we get into scouting more. But one last thing here before we do end the episode, I want to take a look at the record book. I know we do this sometimes throughout the seasons. I want to take a look and see what our records are and how everyone's doing and where they are at. As Volchenkov is leading the way in franchise points, 659. That is awesome, all-time and current. He is 10 seasons. As of right now, he leads the way. He also leads in assists, games played, penalty minutes is Volchenkov. Who do we got for shutouts? Currently, most is Carter Hart. Current all-time is Ranta with 12. Wins, Carter Hart is catching Bishop, and then goals is going to Volchenkov. So he really is our franchise guy, and he is also our team captain. So that is the franchise. Let's see in NHL if there's anything that has been beaten. Marlowe with games played. Jumbo Joe Thornton as well. Marc-Andre Fleury, most goalie games played. He's set that now. Patrick Kane is catching Wayne Gretzky for goals, which is interesting. We'll see if that pans out. Most points, Crosby got up there. He's in the top 5, but he did not tickle Yager or Messier. He was pretty close to Gordie Howe. Most assists, Jumbo Joe got on there, which is really cool to see. Let's see here. Most wins, Marc-Andre Fleury was one away from getting second all-time, which would have been really cool. Ben Bishop up to 500 and Lundqvist to 496. Nobody there for most shutouts. 50-goal seasons. Ovi's up there for third all-time, which is really cool to see. 100-point seasons. No one making that list. But, yeah, that's really cool stuff, guys. Always want to show those stats here and there. But Volchenkov, really our team leader for all those stats. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like on this video. I hope you guys have a good one. And as always, stay dusty.